Hi everyone, Nancy Beauvert here with Agape and Next Steps. And in our last video, we talked about the top 5 reasons why somebody might hesitate to become somebody's power of attorney. In this video, we're going to discuss the top 5 reasons why somebody may be willing to take on that role. After all, it is a very time-consuming, very demanding, and can be a very challenging role. So the first reason why someone may choose to accept that role is because they have a sense of duty or obligation to the individual who is conferring that power on them or asking them to act as power of attorney. It may be a family member or a loved one, and they may feel a moral obligation to ensure that their loved one's needs are being met and that their wishes are being fulfilled. Second reason why someone may choose to accept the role is that they have a close personal knowledge of the individual who is asking them to act as their attorney. It can be very difficult, as I'm sure you can imagine, if you're going to be charged with making decisions as if you stand in that individual's shoes, if you don't really have a deep understanding, a deep awareness of how they would act in certain circumstances or situations, or when they can no longer communicate, if it comes to the point that they can no longer communicate their desires or they lose mental competency and aren't making sound decisions, it can be very difficult to make appropriate decisions for that individual if you don't have that deep understanding, that deep knowledge of how they would act in any given situation. Because keep in mind, acting as a power of attorney on someone's behalf isn't about what you would do. It's about ensuring that you are acting the way that they would act. And that's a very important distinction. The third reason why someone may choose to accept the role is they may have some financial or legal acumen. Being the power of attorney for somebody, it involves a lot of financial transactions. It can involve some legal transactions if there's real property or anything like that to manage, to dispose of. There can be a lot of complications. So people who are legally or financially trained who work in that field, it would kind of be a no-brainer for them to take on the role because they have an expertise in that area. But if you are an individual who is a close friend or a relative of the individual and you don't have any formal training, you may still be able to function quite comfortably in that role as long as you have a good network that you can confer with or some intimate knowledge of how to function in certain situations. So if you do have some acumen in those areas, that might encourage you a little bit to be a little bit bolder or to be more accepting of taking on the role. The fourth reason why someone may choose to take on the responsibility of the power of attorney on someone's behalf is to try to avoid family conflicts. I would suggest that it is a very, very, very rare circumstance that everybody who is involved in a family is going to agree with some decisions that are being made by a power of attorney. And somebody who has a little bit more diplomacy, somebody who has a little bit more tact, can often smooth over those rough points and make it so that it's less of a contentious issue. Now, in all cases, this isn't going to be true. There are going to be some instances where other individuals, other family members just simply will never agree with what it is that you're trying to do. But remember that you are obligated always to act as if you were that person. So try to avoid those conflicts. Somebody who has already those skills or is maybe already the family peacemaker, they may make a good candidate and they may be more willing to step into the role. The fifth and final reason in this video why someone may choose to take on the role of power of attorney on someone's enduring power of attorney is because they'll feel a personal sense of fulfillment. When you care about somebody, whether it's a very close friend, whether it's a family member, when you care about them, you want what is best for them. And if you have the willingness, have the time, have the ability to act as somebody's power of attorney, it can be, even though it's incredibly stressful in spots, it can be very fulfilling to know that at the end of the day, you did what was in the best interest for your loved one. You acted as they would have expected and as they would have acted. So even with the challenges, sometimes there can be a real sense of doing something for somebody that really mattered at the end. And with that, I'll leave this video. A little bit of food for thought. If you're ever asked to step into that role, you might want to compare the pros and the cons in both these videos, and hopefully you'll make the right decision for yourself and for the person who is asking. Thanks very much. Bye for now.